Can you believe it? We are on our third video here in Vernon's surefire way um, to better SEO for craft brewery posts. See, I renamed the series every time. Hope you like that approach. Just kidding. All right, so let's take. As you can see, there's three different windows here, and some of them have multiple tabs. So this is going to get a little complicated. First thing I want to let you know is that I kind of misled you previously. This row right here was not visits; it was impressions. If you look at the visits, it's a much more depressing story, isn't it? So we got to get. This is why we have to work on this stuff. I've also changed this so keyword phrases used. That's the same. Keyword phrases. Let's see. Used in post. I still haven't put those in there. I don't know that I'm going to at this point, actually. And notes, I've made the notes that we went over in the last one, and then new keyword phrases. That's where we're going to put some of the information that we're going to gather and figure out now. So let's take a look at this first one. So let's look at the URL. It says best practices to grow brewery sales bonus checklist. Now, if you look over here at the keywords that were used to find or to post the impressions, brewery checklist and brewery sales. So brewery sales and checklist, all that's right in the URL. So that's good. That's why those showed up. The question is why you only got 34 impressions, where some you get 200, 224, 215. We only got 34 here. It could be because this was recent. This is more recent than those. So that's part of what's happening there too. So let's go to the page. I've already got it pulled up, and I've got it pulled up with WordPress being logged into WordPress. So here you've got again in the H1 tag headline, you've got brewery sales and checklist. Now you've got sales and bonus checklist. I'm assuming that has to do with your sales team and bonuses that you would give to them, but I'm not sure. So I have to kind of read down through here. So the first thing that I noticed though is structurally you've got an H1 tag, and that's really good. And how do I know that's an H1 tag? Well, I can actually go and look into developer tools. So Chrome, View, Developer, Developer Tools. Now I don't really need to do this, but I'm just going to prove it to you. Okay, so here we go. That's there. I'm going to click on this little blue square here with the arrow, and I'm going to go here, and you notice how you can highlight different things. This is pretty valuable, actually, for your developer. But you see at the top it says H1 entry title. You can also, if you click there, you'll see it here, H1 class, and you'll see it over here. H1, H2, 3, those are all the style sheets and that sort of thing. So, but here you've just got these in bold, and you don't have any other H2 tags. One of the missing opportunities here is simply to restructure this so that you have H2 tags. Instead of making these bold, you make them an H2. So let me just show you how to do that. I noticed that. Well, actually, we'll wait till we get to the edit page. I'm going to close this down. I don't need that. And we're looking at this way. And so in this post, this is kind of, I took a look at this earlier. This would be kind of hard to break up. I'm going to leave it alone as it is. Driving brewery sales. I would actually, I'm going to actually change that though. I'm going to say drive brewery sales. Oh, actually, you know what? You've already got sales here. Drive sales growth. I guess I'll leave it out. You don't want to have, you don't want to do what's called keyword stuffing, where you've got too many words. But see, here's 3 best practices for brewery sales, for brewery sales plans. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to make it bold, but instead I'm going to make it an H2. See how I did that? I went there and I went to H2. So I got to go back and do that again. So now Google's saying, ooh, there's brewery sales plans again. Sales plans, we haven't used the word plans yet. Let's go to WordTracker for a minute. And here's WordTracker, right? We've got our lists. So, we've looked at these lists, and some of what you're going to do here is do some new searches. But you can also start by just looking at the lists that are here. So if you go to brewery finance, or just brewery, craft brewery, or just, is there one that's just brewery? I guess there isn't. So we'll say craft brewery. We'll go to that one, and we'll look for the word. What was it again? Sales plan. I don't think it's going to be here. I'm just going to do a search for the word sales. Okay. So I'm going to instead, I don't think that as I recall, I just happen to know that we don't have that as a list. So I'm going to go over here, and I am going to go to search, and I'm going to search for brewery sales plan and see what comes up. Could be nothing comes up. We'll check and see. Takes a minute. No queries. So that doesn't work. So beer sales plan. So no, again, it's just not coming up. So I probably am not going to worry about that too much at this point. Go back to there. So the sales plans, it's probably good to have it in there, because I'm sure sales plans, I'm sure there's a lot for that. So if we just take out sales plan, or just do sales plan, there shouldn't be a whole lot of difference between singular and plural. I'm sure you're going to come up with some there. So sales plan 2,500, sales plan template 1,417, sales and operations planning. So you could consider adding some of those, but I don't feel qualified to add those. So I'm not going to do that. I think that's something that takes more expertise in your specific area. But I am going to go through here, sales planning to drive revenue. I'm going to just go ahead and just for the heck of it, so these are formatted in the same way. I'm going to do this. So the main goal of your sales plan is to drive revenue. Plain and simple. To accomplish this goal, the plan will be to include action items and specific steps to drive sales. There's that word, drive sales again. We've used that other places, so that's good. I think we have, haven't we? Drive revenue, drive sales. Now, all of these are good, nice business terms, but you want to try, when possible, to link them with one of the beer or brewery type of, or tap room, that sort of thing. We use tap room. There's a lot of posts that are using tap room and really trying to hone in on that. So we're not gonna use that this time to try to fight the other ones that are using tap room a lot more. We're just going to let that be, which is another thing that you have to kind of get to know. You have to look at the topics and the keywords that are used on your various posts, and you want to go through and make sure that those are not going to compete, and that you just kind of choose wisely which one you think is one or several posts you think will be the better ones for focusing on those keywords. In this case, I don't think taproom is. So self-distribution plan and sales to wholesalers. I think we can leave that kind of alone and as is. Pretty much all I'm going to be able to do in this one, I think, is just to do these H2 templates to create your plan. Now, we did notice that there was, back in WordTracker, they were using the word template. So I'm going to take a look at that in a minute again and just double check. So use templates to create your plan. Don't reinvent the wheel. Use existing models for your sales plan. So it's a sales template, I believe. So sales plan template. So if I were you, I would probably add the word sales in there. However, because I'm not absolutely 100% sure that that's what you mean here, well, you do say build a proven, effective, and profitable sales plan models. So let's see, where was the template? I think the word template was in there. Maybe not. Yeah, sales plan template. So let's see, use a sales plan template to create your plans. Let's see how many, well, 1,417. I'm going to go ahead and take the risk and change this one. So I'm going to say use a sales plan template to create your plan. That's got to change now. Plan template. I guess we could leave it that way. I'm going to leave it that way for now. It's not as smooth as it could be, but sometimes without getting too awkward, inserting certain keywords in some places, as long as it doesn't seem really awkward, I think it's okay. In this case, I think this is okay. Let's leave that. So now we have sales plan templates, 1,417 people. Click on that. So that's, or search for that. So this could help you a little bit. Again, it's not going to maybe be that helpful because the vast majority of these people aren't looking for beer, aren't in the beer business. So, and I think that's probably all I'm going to go with right now. Sales growth checklist. Let's just see what WordTracker says about that. No queries. So, we could play around. Let's see, sales. Yeah, I think we need to, I think I'm going to leave this alone here at this point. Except what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this image right here, this featured image. Now you probably use that featured image elsewhere. One of the things that we want to do is we want to add alt tags. So for this one, I'm just gonna update it. I'm going to leave that alone otherwise, in terms of the copy. We'll do some other ones. I'll give you some other examples that provide some other, more involved changes. But for this one, this is all I'm going to do. Now, let's take a look at what this looks like. So we're going to view the post in a new tab. And if we look at this image right here, right, that's the image that we were talking about. If I go back to my developer tools, again, you don't have to do this, but I just want to show you what I mean by the alt tags. If you go here, and let's take a look at that. Let me do that one more time. Okay, so here's the image right here. Class equals, and it probably doesn't have, it's hard to read this, but I don't think it's going to have, alt is lazy. Alt loading equals lazy. That's kind of a weird, I don't know why it says alt loading. So yeah, that's for if it's loading slowly, I guess. I've never come across that before. But anyway, let's take a look at how to add alt tags. I'm going to show you in a subsequent post where you have an image in the copy area, how you can just add them right there in the copy area. But I want to also show you, I'm going to go to the dashboard here. Not about WordPress. Dashboard, yeah. So let's go to media and media library. Let's look for that image. Now that image is probably used on a lot of different pages, so we're just going to kind of go down through. It's this one right here, beer tasting. So let's click on that. So it looks like maybe that is the only image that's being used in there. So I'm going to go ahead. If you look at this, closing this, you should be able to add an alt tag. I guess it was added. This is interesting. Caption alternative text. Okay. So that's what I mean by alt text. So I would say we should probably try to add, I mean, this is actually, is that a tap room probably, right? So I think we'll use the word tap room there, but we'll also use some of these other words. Going back to here, just trying to help you score even better with brewery sales. So I'm going to say this beer. So for the alt text, what you want to do is you want to describe what's going on in the photo. There's two reasons why you want to do this. If you don't have it, Google's going to say, what about blind people? They're not going to know what the photograph is. People who have some sort of a visual disability, they're not going to be able to know what the photo is. That's not very nice of Craft Brewery Finance. We're going to downgrade you for that. We're not going to show you on the page as much. If it's done a lot, you know, you don't have these alt tags in here. Google doesn't like that. They think you should have it in there. Plus, it helps with keywords and you know, if you add keywords in there, and so it helps on two levels with Google. But it also just helps the people who are visually impaired, so they can know what's going on. So I'm going to say a variety of beer along a tap room bar, indicating and we go back, here's where we go back, brewery sales, indicating brewery sales. And I'm just going to update that image like that. Caption, tasting of many different types of beer. That's not used, so you're not going to even see that. But Google will see that alt tag now. So that's two ways in which we've improved this. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Let's go back to the into here and view the post. So you don't see the alt tag, but you do see this, and you may not like the way this is handled visually, but actually I think it is good. I do think it's weird that this isn't bolder than this, but that's apparently the way the style sheets are set up, so we're not going to change that right now. So the other thing you could do, though, see how it says down here, I've built proven effective profitable sales plan models for you, and they are available in the Craft Brewery sales growth course. Let's go to the course itself. Let's go looking at to the resources and do I'm not sure where those are. So, oh, that's not in resources. It's in shop. Sorry. And we'll say sales growth course, Craft Brewery sales growth course. Excellent. Here's another way of helping SEO. So here's the course. I'm going to copy the link to that course, and now I'm going to go back to that page. So I copied the link, and I'm going to link it. That just helps your customers, and it helps you, and it makes Google say, oh, they've got some good linking going on from one page to the next, which is an SEO issue. So let's go here, and I'm gonna go down to that right here, and I am going to actually, you know what, I'm gonna highlight videos as well, because video, again, if you can use videos, if you can get that into either bold or even better an H1, H2, or H3 tag, you're better off. So actually, I'm going to make this whole thing an H3, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to link it. And now I'm going to update that. Let's take one more look at it once it's done saving, and that will be the end of this video, and there'll be more showing other ways of using all these tools. So let's go back to view post, and at the bottom it's it's a nice little promotion there for you at the bottom now. Okay, so that's it for this one. See you at the next one.